I remember the very first time I had to present to C-suites. I was petrified. I was 20 years old in a supervisor position in a call center BPO in Panama back in the days. And I am confident I am not the only one who had experienced this. There is many reasons why this happened. It can be lack of confidence, preparation, knowledge. Reality is presenting an idea or an initiative to C-suites or senior executives can be very intimidating. So that's why in today's class, I want to share with you 3 steps how to blow your next presentation to C-suites or senior executives so your idea and your initiative get approved. But first things first, what is the difference between C-suites? Who are C-suites? We're talking about a group of individuals that the scope of responsibility within an organization is different. The level of decision making, they see things holistically, not only for one country, but manage the values, the mission, and the overall perspective and goals for a call center or a BPO. They most of the time also manage information that you don't have, because they are the responsibles to follow through strategies to make sure things go smooth and expand. I don't want you to make a mistake that many leaders do. I want you to take advantage of the opportunity and the exposure that you're going to have presenting that idea, that initiative that you want for your team and the organization. However, the C-suites, if you don't understand who exactly is this audience, it's going to be a complete no. You have a very limited amount of time to put your presentation together and make sure that you follow through and close the loops. Remember, these individuals are the ones who see holistically goals for the company, not only for one country, but overall the organization as a whole, where to allocate resources, where and how they're going to implement initiatives. They evaluate the risk. So we're talking about the C-suites. It's a group of individuals in a team that actually their role starts with the C, which stands for chief. And we're talking about the highest ranking executive within an organization, call center BPOs, and any multinational. We're talking about Chief Executive Officer, Chief Operation Officer, Chief Financial Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, CTO, Chief Technology Officer, CHRO, Chief Human Resources Officer, CIO, Chief Information Officer, and we can go on and on. I think you get it by now. Chief. So now for me, it's extremely important that you understand what is the scope of this C-suites. So you are prepared when you're going to give this idea or present to this audience your initiatives, because there is essential things that can painful your presentation or the effectiveness of your presentation, because at the end of the day I want you to succeed, right? The very first thing I want you to do before we even start with the 3 steps, that you understand who are you presented to. You can be either presenting to a C-suite from your client side, which is different. Usually there is going to be some other C-suite executives in the call from the company side. This is a different kind of exposure. Who is the people who is going to be involved in that session, and why are you presenting to those individuals? Are those individuals the one who are going to make the decision, or you need to circle back with them? There is different scenarios that I want you to consider, okay? Is you presenting internally to C-suites, or you're going to go and present to a bigger audience after that? Somebody from your team is going to present to a C-suite, and then you have to kind of follow through or help that individual. There's going to be a panel of C-suites that usually have a different dynamic. As you can see now, there is different scenarios, and it's very important that you're intentional in a way that you're going to provide the message to this presentation, this idea, this initiative, to this group of people. The tone change, the wording change, the timing change, okay? We're talking most of the time to great seasoned leaders and most likely experts in negotiation, okay? The very first step that I want you to take in consideration before you present this idea, this initiative, so you can blow it up in that meeting, is have a very clear problem defined. An idea without a problem is a problem. I want you to listen to this again. An idea without a problem is a problem. And you're gonna say, well, Christy, why? What are you talking about? If you don't have a very clear problem that you're going to resolve with your idea and your initiative, this presentation is not gonna go anywhere. Your idea, your initiative has to be tied to a problem, an actual problem. For example, X project has 200% annualized attrition rate. That's a very clear problem. If you're going to present an idea without the clarity of what is the intention or what specifically is going to solve, probably you're going to waste a solid 10 minutes of your life and most likely lose the audience attention, okay? Number 2, have a clear, solid ROI, return of investment. And we talk about very specific acronyms in the industry that every leader must know. So if you haven't watched that video, click the link below in the description. Take a look to it. It's short and very good. So now that you have the problem, what do you mean exactly, Christy, on have a clear ROI? This means that you're going to put data into what makes your idea, your initiative, a solid in return and not only an expense of money. So we talk about attrition. So let's say your idea is that you want to have X amount of money on a budget to reduce that attrition. Then you're gonna monetize this problem. So you need data. You need backtrack data on how much money, what is the impact that 200% attrition is having, not only in performance, recurring expenses, reputation, branding, and obviously being competent to manage the job. Do not overlook these important steps. Monetize what is that problem that you are going to attack and solve for once and for good in your initiative or your idea before you jumped into the idea or the initiative. A bonus tip that I want to give you on this, you can have a couple simple data that can be easy to read to any audience, that they can understand the last 3 months, the last 6 months, the last year, whatever is that makes sense. If you have historical data to compare, that is going to make your life easier to present. Also point out what initiative has been done before and the outcome of it. Now that your audience understand what is the money that they are losing with this problem that you point out, and you presented an estimate of what is going to be the in return, now they are starting to look this as an investment, not as an expense of money, okay? What they are losing instead of what they are gonna gain. And number 3 is close the loop. And what does that mean, Christy? Well, this means that now that you position your idea, you can give maybe 2-3 different solid, strong options on your idea. Let's see how is that responding to the audience. What are the questions? What are the follow-ups? But don't leave those in the air. What is closing the loop is have a call of action after, either a follow-up meeting on X day with more people. If it's some questions that they want to understand a bit more of the data, or they are asking for any specific information that you don't have handy, because you need to be prepared anyways, right? But if you don't have handy and you need to follow through, close the loop by having a specific day set up on the calendar after that session, and who else needs to be involved in that session. So that way you're closing the loop with a call of action with that group of people, or if you're going to assign somebody else, or if you're going to be the leader of that initiative for change. A bonus tip that I want to give you is put together a notes or a set of notes right while you're presenting up, or have somebody from your team doing it, so everybody has the same information, is fresh, revise it and send it over with whoever is the owner or whoever needs to be on the following call, or what is next. It's very important. Closing the loop is what is next. Very clear, specific with action items. And of course, if you are presenting, you are the owner probably of this initiative. So you, your team, or whoever is involved, make sure that they are in sync and everybody is copied as well. Very important, have in mind, how can this initiative and idea can work out? What do you need? What is exactly the problem that you're solving? How you're gonna measure that and present it after with the results, which is very important. This is gonna definitely boost your confidence. It's gonna blow the next presentation. You're gonna be very precise and clear in the message. Remember, what is the problem? A clear return of investment and closing the loop. If this video resonated with you and you're on track of your next promotion, or you want a strategic guidance from an expert in the industry who can give you methodologies and strategies to lead you to your next level and become a powerful communicator in your organization and in your industry, today is the day to join the waiting list. The link is in the description for my next Supercharger Communication Powers Bootcamp. I'm extremely excited, and thank you so much for all those leaders who already signed up. You're gonna receive all the details for the next bootcamp before everybody else, and all the special offers and bonuses that are gonna be included. I'm gonna continue with the saga of C-Suite's next class, so remember to like this video if you like it, leave me your comments, and share with other leaders in the industry who are determined to level up their careers this year. See you next class!